Hey guys, how's it going? Tom Greenwood here. This is my YouTube channel. Today I'm in the wood shop. I'm working on my dovetail joinery. I'm trying to learn dovetails, doing it by hand. So that's practice and it's difficult. I have no work today because it's raining and it's late February, so work's usually slow for me this time of year. So today I've been thinking about things normally found in the realm of religion. Faith, prayer, and meditation. So people think about faith, and usually it brings to mind something like Christianity or Buddhism, something like that. There are lots of religions; those are two, and that's good. I have no problem with people's religion per se, as long as it makes them a better person and they're not using it to harm people or try and control people's self-sovereignty. But the important thing is that faith is a thing. There's big F faith, like religious faith, but there's another thing. Faith is a state of being. Faith is an emotion. Prayer can be done without the use of having to belong to a religion, and meditation is a practice that many people engage in that don't have any religious leanings one way or the other. Of course, they go great with people's religion, but you don't have to be religious to use your faith, to use your meditation, and to pray. And I recommend doing it in spite of it. My religious leanings are unimportant to this conversation, but I do want to talk about faith. So faith is a thing that you can have inside yourself, like a belief of absolute certainty, a knowledge of inevitability, just being able to know that the future is going to be okay, or that whatever you're going for is actually going to work. And that's a great state to be in, especially when you're working towards a goal that you have. Prayer is wonderful in that we can't prove or disprove the existence of God, and it's not important. But prayer changes the state of the person doing the praying. In order to pray, you have to go through some sort of mental process. You have to enter into a state of practice. Your mind has to go to a certain place to pray, and that's real. When you pray, your brain is doing something, and that, whether there is or is not a God, doesn't matter. The act of praying actually changes the person doing the prayer. And that's important, to be able to change our mind to that state, to be able to reach that state of prayer. And I'm not going to get into it much more than that. And I'm also going to talk about meditation. Meditation is, there are many, many, many forms of meditation. There are lots and lots and lots of them out there. If you're interested, I'm sure you can find one or two that will work for you. But meditation is very important in that it also changes the state of the brain. The National Geographic Society did a study on a monk. They put this weird sensory thing on his head, and there's a part of our brain that lights up when we're happy. There's a happy part of our brain that is relates to happiness, and that part of his brain was more active than it had ever been registered in any other human being. So technically, he was the happiest person alive. Now that man spends a very intense amount of his time in meditation and prayer. And I don't think it's an accident that the part of his brain that is responsible for relating to happiness is more active than it is in other human beings. He spent a lot of time looking at his thoughts, his brain, and where he is as an emotional being, as an intellectual being, and reflecting on that and coming to some kind of peace with it. So I can't discount that. In fact, I recommend it. If you don't have a meditation, find a form of meditation and spend 5 or 10 or 20 minutes there a day. Find a place where you can get into something and be selfless and to do it, free from yourself and your thinking. Try praying. You don't have to believe in God. Sometimes I pray to the belief that the universe is looking out for my best anything in the world. I call it the Benestrophe. And sometimes I just talk to the Benestrophe. Hey, Benestrophe, if you could help me get to this place, if you could help me to not freak out, or thank you for getting me to where I'm at, more importantly. Thank you, Benestrophe. That's a prayer, and that works. And believing that it's going to work out, that what I'm working on is going to get me somewhere, having faith in it, having faith that the universe is looking out for me, and that while things might suck today, they're not going to suck forever. They're going to get better, and that I'm going to reach my goals, is very important to have that belief, even though there's not necessarily an evidence that I'll get there, but to believe it anyway. to be grateful, to have gratitude, and to thank the Benestrophe for what it has given me is absolutely vital to my own well-being emotionally. And meditating to get free of myself is super valuable, because the inside of my head can be messy at times. It can be an uncomfortable place for people. A lot of anxiety up there, a lot of fears, a lot of uncertainty. But meditating, praying, and being in a state of faith are great ways to be, period, and a great way to counteract anxiety and fear and worry and uncertainty that we may have. Anyway, so there's some of my thoughts about meditation, about prayer, and about being in faith. Hope that these videos are reaching you and that you're doing well, and I hope I get to see you in the future. Have a good day.